In October 2017, women in Albany, New York lined up in a private room and let another woman press a cauterizing iron into their skin. No anesthetic. 20 to 30 minutes each, held down by the women who'd gone before them. They were told the mark stood for the 4 elements. It didn't. Last episode, it was a blood testing startup that fooled Henry Kissinger. This time, it's a self-help company that recruited a TV star, a liquor fortune, and eventually got an audience with people connected to the Dalai Lama. Different name, different setting. Watch for the same 4 moves. Keith Raniere founded NXIVM in 1998, marketed through executive success programs as an elite personal growth company. Members paid thousands of dollars for multi-day intensives built around a system Raniere called Rational Inquiry, and advanced through colored sashes like a martial art. But the first tactic was in place before anyone signed up: fabricated authority. Raniere called himself the smartest man in the world, citing a single entry in the 1989 Australian edition of the Guinness Book of World Records for highest IQ, a category Guinness discontinued the very next year. The underlying test was untimed, take home, and never independently verified. He also claimed he was speaking in full sentences at 1 year old and playing piano proficiently at 12. Claims nobody outside his own account ever confirmed. None of it was checked. It didn't need to be. Once people believed he was the smartest man alive, everything he said afterward inherited that authority automatically. The second tactic escalated slowly enough that most people didn't notice it happening. Manufactured intimacy through the collateral system. In 2015, Raniere created a secret society with an NXIVM called DOS, structured as a strict pyramid with him at the top. Women were recruited under the pretense that it was an elite women's empowerment sorority, built on radical self-discipline. To join, recruits had to hand over collateral, nude photos, handwritten letters confessing damaging secrets or disparaging their own families, even rights to bank accounts. It was framed as proof of commitment, the same logic any escalating con uses. Ask for something small, then something slightly bigger, until the thing you're being asked for would have seemed insane at the start. The branding was the final escalation and the ultimate deception. Members were told the symbol represented the 4 elements. It was actually a cryptic monogram of Raniere's own initials, rotated to disguise it. Sarah Edmondson, one of the women branded, later said it was worse than childbirth. She only learned what the symbol really meant after her skin had already healed. The third tactic is one you've seen before: borrowed credibility at a scale most cons never reach. Claire and Sarah Bronfman, heirs to the Seagram liquor fortune, personally financed NXIVM with tens of millions of dollars. Sarah Bronfman used her personal connections to help arrange an appearance connected to the Dalai Lama at a NXIVM-linked event, lending the organization a borrowed aura of global legitimacy. Smallville actress Allison Mack became one of NXIVM's top recruiters, using her fame to bring other actresses and public figures into the organization, and eventually became one of the highest-ranking masters inside DOS itself. Real fortune, real fame, real access to genuine global figures, all pointed at something built on fabricated authority and blackmail. The fourth tactic kept the first 3 from ever being questioned. Manufactured fear, weaponized through the legal system itself. Court records describe NXIVM, backed by Bronfman money, functioning as what one observer called a litigation machine. Within 2 years of one critic leaving the organization, Raniere and Claire Bronfman had sued that single person 6 separate times, using 6 different law firms, alleging misappropriation and extortion. It rarely mattered whether NXIVM won. The cost of fighting 6 lawsuits was punishment enough, and it sent an unmistakable message to anyone else considering the same exit. Private investigators reportedly surveilled critics, journalists, and even judges connected to the case. The pattern held until October 2017, when the New York Times published an expose on the branding practices. Raniere fled to Mexico and was arrested in a Puerto Vallarta villa, according to trial testimony, minutes before a planned encounter with 6 women. His trial began in May 2019 in Brooklyn Federal Court. After 6 weeks of testimony, the jury deliberated less than 5 hours and convicted him on all counts, including racketeering, sex trafficking, and forced labor conspiracy. Evidence presented at sentencing included a relationship with a minor and the years-long confinement of another woman. In October 2020, Raniere was sentenced to 120 years in federal prison. Allison Mack cooperated with prosecutors, pleaded guilty, and served about 2 years before her release in 2023. Claire Bronfman pleaded guilty to related charges and was released from custody in June 2025. Raniere has spent the years since filing appeals from prison, all of them rejected, and as of the most recent reporting, has been moved between federal facilities following disciplinary incidents. 4 tactics, same as before, wearing a different costume. Fabricated authority, a credential or claim nobody actually checked, because the person made it sound like checking would be beneath you. Manufactured intimacy, a series of small asks that escalate so gradually the final one feels inevitable instead of insane. Borrowed credibility, real money, real fame, real access, all pointed at something that couldn't survive scrutiny on its own. And manufactured fear, making the cost of leaving or speaking up higher than the cost of staying silent. Elizabeth Holmes used these tactics in a lab. Keith Raniere used them in a self-help seminar. The setting changes. The 4 moves don't.